Alright, so, hi. This is something that I've been chewing over today, and I'm going to share my thoughts on what I am not. I think this topic is tricky to wrestle with, but basically there's I believe there are spiritual technologies which have their time and place, and then still go to get referenced rather as time goes on, and that can be incredibly beneficial because it gives us a shared language. I do believe that as a species, we, under the stars, we are in the, age of Aquarius, and I do think that Jesus was the ruler of the age of Pisces. And that being said, and before that it was the ram, which is referred to in the Passover story. And so there are these reference points which still hold value, and in terms of Jesus being the age of Pisces, I think there are 8 billion plus opportunities to have a personal relationship with the man, the myth, the legend, the subject of the New Testament. That being said, the discourses of Saint Germain are a series of New Age books with a very simple mantra that I am not fully at liberty to break down. But I can show you where the energy can get played with. So Gosh, this is really difficult, but as far as the age of Pisces took us, I believe we're in a time when institutional authority is not as relevant as it used to be when systems were smaller. So that doesn't mean that there aren't plenty of things that can't get taken for granted, or SWAT teams that'll come and prove that institutions have power if you poke the bear or do something. Like Unabomber style. And maybe that would be an interesting way to break into what I am not, because in internet culture, and from what I've read, there was a certain lucidity, intelligence, a lot of things going on with Uncle Ted, and that's something that doesn't really bring joy and set us in a place with unity, in respect to the people around us. And I think that so it's important to figure out maybe how to engineer a world that you and I can be a part of, rather than coming to it from either an outsider perspective or an institutional sort of person, because I don't really think that either of those have much longevity in the world that I've observed. In fact, well, it's not totally right to judge others on the paths they take. My experience has been one where basically the most important thing is to be able to get along within a group of people and not take up too much oxygen, and not to be cast out, or not to even have to really spread some ideology, not to have to be a paragon, not to have to be a martyr, not to have to be exemplary or the perfect fit. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this. I'll try to wrap this up. I think my last video went on a bit long, but my efforts to figure out how to be a part of this new energy have often shown me that by placing yourself as something distinctly that marks you either at odds with other people or at odds with yourself. So let's see, if someone says that I am always on time, and then grumbles whenever people are late at work or something, and then maybe circumstances in life change, and then they're like they have like an obligation in the morning or something, and so all of a sudden they're showing up late. Well, then people are probably going to be pretty relentless towards them because of this position that they sort of put themselves in, where they were so eager to display their thought process and put themselves in a certain light that it didn't really have a sustainable nature to it when circumstances changed. So I think that's a big idea to kind of mull over. So I might try to. Basically, it's just that we're in a time when there's a lot of pitfalls, and I think that some of the standards which were upheld in a previous age are no longer going to be totally in sync with the reality of this new age. And while that's sort of a loaded term, I do believe that the influence of the stars is on display, and that that should just maybe make us think about what ways we can tap into creatively to kind of get a sense of how to operate. And I recommend people look into Saint Germain and the discourses there. Hopefully I've made it clear that that energy is not who you are. At all times, but it can be something to sort of help one navigate what matters, and I think also attune us to the sort of unifying principles that will just help us to get by as this world continues to become what it's supposed to be, for the next while. I think a lot of us are pretty done with institutional allegiance, in a sense, and I think one of the first pitfalls to clear once you stop believing everything that comes in a glossy package is to understand that you at times will have a glossy package, and to prepare for those times are going to actually make you a lot more satisfied, because who are we kidding? It just seems like there's less opportunities to build things in the old way, and I'm coming to grips with that and figuring out what things no longer serve me, and so on and so forth. So I hope this has helped. I'm not sure what the title's going to be, but I meant every single word of it. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.